Welcome back from the break, Rams, into your Thursday night sports show, The Blitz. Hosted by yours truly, Brendon Fairbairn. I'll finally dive into the NFC leading Seattle Seahawks' chances to win their second Super Bowl in franchise history, and we'll take a look at some betting odds for both tonight's Thursday night matchup in pro football and what was supposed to be CSU's season opening game this week against New Mexico. With this being said, I have so much gridiron action to talk to you all about tonight, so let's jump right into it. To kick us off, Russell Wilson Seahawks are off to an impressive start to the 2020 season with the 5-0 record, their first in franchise history. Right now, Seattle is ranked first in NFL.com's power rankings, but what really matters is if you finish as number one at season's end with the Lombardi Trophy in hand. In this week's edition of Contender or Pretender, I'll answer the question of, can the Seattle Seahawks make their first deep playoff run since 2015, or will they lose early on in the playoffs like they have in their past 4 postseason appearances? Let's start off with Seattle's strengths. This season, there is no debate that their offense and Russell Wilson is carrying them just like he usually does. Building off last year's 8th ranked total offense, the Seahawks are not far behind this season, placing 9th in total offense through 5 games. Finally, Wilson is getting the help he needs on offense with the emergence of second-year wide receiver DK Metcalf and, of course, the reliable speedster Tyler Lockett. Between the dynamic receiver duo, they have 9 touchdowns on the season, 838 total yards, and an average of 167.6 yards per game. Most importantly, his O-line is performing way better. Last year, the Seahawks O-line was rated 27th overall. This season, they are ranked 18th so far, which isn't perfect by any means, but just enough for Wilson to play at his full potential. Improvement on offense has helped Wilson get off to his best start of his career. Wilson had 19 touchdowns, which is first in the league, 3 interceptions, which is 10th in the league, 1,502 passing yards, 13th in the league, and 129.8 pass rating, which is the best in the league. Due to Wilson's high level of play, as of Week 7, Seattle ranks first in points per game with an impressive average of 33.8 points per game. The Seahawks defense as a whole is their biggest weakness, which isn't usually the case for the Seahawks. Even with 2 all-pro defensive players on their squad, as Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams, the Hawks are ranked dead last in total defense, allowing a league high of 471 yards, as well as a staggering 27 points per game. With that being said, the Seahawks are playing the run very well, only giving up an average of 100 yards on the ground per game, which is 7th best in the league. But through the air, where most NFL offenses make their living, is a whole different story, giving up 370 passing yards per game, obviously the worst in the league. If the Seahawks don't fix their problems in the secondary, it could easily earn them another early playoff exit. Last year, the Chiefs' proved offense can carry a team to a Super Bowl victory. The Seahawks are following in those footsteps with their red-hot offense led by an MVP candidate and a dismal defense. I believe the Seahawks will fix their defensive problems throughout the season once Jamal Adams, Shaquille Griffin, Quentin Dunbar, and Jordan Brooks get healthier, making them contenders in my books. The Seahawks, they just have that grit and tenacity to finish games. They had that goal line stop against the Patriots, and against the Vikings, they had that game-winning drive. They just have that it factor to take them all the way. As of now, Russell Wilson is the front runner for winning MVP at minus 125 odds. But if you're looking for some better odds to start Week 7 of the NFL action off right, I have the perfect spread and over-under bet locks for tonight's Thursday night primetime matchup, as well as some betting lines for what was supposed to be the season opener for CSU football in this week's edition of What Are the Odds? The Giants are at plus 4.5. Well, let's start off on the professional side of things. The Eagles had 2 more key weapons on offense fall victim to the injury bug this past Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. Running back Miles Sanders suffered a knee injury, and their main red zone threat and tight end Zach Ertz also went down with an ankle injury, adding to their already injury-depleted roster. Obviously, this is a huge blow to their offense, who already has both starting wide receivers out. With this in mind, the number 12 ranked Giants defense could easily have their way with the decimated Philadelphia offense. It is also good to note the Giants are 3-0 against the spread on the road this season and have covered in 6 straight games. Over the last 3 seasons, Carson Wentz has covered just 23% of his games as a home favorite, which is the worst coverage percentage among all quarterbacks. I also have the over hitting for this game at over 45 due to this being such a low line for a divisional matchup that has a bunch of turnovers and high scoring written all over it. Between the two teams from the dismal NFC East. I was very excited to cover my first CSU game with real odds this week as the Rams were supposed to take on the New Mexico Lobos on Saturday. The game was canceled Tuesday due to COVID outbreak in Bernalillo County. Since the Rams versus Fresno State Bulldogs haven't come out yet, I thought I should talk about the what if of this over-under of this canceled Mountain West Conference game. The line was set at 62.5. I like the under. If this game was to be played, the under would have definitely hit. The total has gone under in 7 of Colorado State's last 8 games, while the total has gone under in 7 of New Mexico's last 9 games. The most convincing trend of them all is the total has gone under in 4 of Colorado State's last 5 games against New Mexico. Well, Rams fans, that's all the sports action I have for tonight. Please tune in for CTV Sports next week to meet some new CSU commits for football.